you don't get sick from cold water. It's all in your head. It's not the cold that's getting you sick. It's your weak immune system. And one of the cold therapy benefits is strengthening your immune system.
You are your own greatest ally or enemy. Awaken the warrior within you. Take charge of your inner kingdom. Welcome to the Warrior Growth Academy podcast.
Welcome to the Warrior Growth Academy podcast, where we build mental strength in order not to just survive, but to thrive in life. Today, we have a very special guest. She is the Ice Queen herself, Jenny B, a biologist, a facilitator of ice baths, and just in general, an incredible force of life, also a personal trainer. So a lot of things to dig in today about mental health and physical health. Jenny, welcome.
Thank you. As you can see, you made me shy.
Oh, was it too beautiful as introduction?
It was very beautiful. Thank you.
I'll try to tone it down next time and say just like, yeah, we have a guest, Jenny B. She just came in and sat down on the chair.
Yes, because you don't want to see me blushing.
Can we please zoom in on the blush, like just to show it full screen? Okay, so before diving into what got you where you are today, I know you have an interesting story and a personal story that brought you in the world of health and wellness and cold therapy. So can you tell us a little bit about your journey that brought you to the Jenny B of 2024?
First, thank you for getting me on this podcast. I never thought I'm going to be having to say or tell my story publicly. Only the people who are very close to me know who's Jenny B. But I'm happy to share this with you today.
Amazing.
So, thank you. It all started back when 2017. I came to Canada as under immigrant refugee. And I was a biologist, as you mentioned already. I am still a biologist, but I practiced biology at that time more. I graduated in biology for wanting to be a doctor, but back in my country, in Middle East, it's quite difficult to get into being a doctor if you're not financially able to pay for the tuitions, because they're very expensive. So I couldn't get to the biology. I did pre-med school. And then I'm like, what do I do now? My goal in life always as a child was to have direct impact on people's life. That's why I chose to be a doctor. But like I said, tuitions were very high, so I decided to continue my master's in molecular biology, which I did 1 year of it. And then life changed, life hit, and I immigrated and refugeed to Canada. So when I came here, Montreal, as everyone knows, you need to know French. And I had zero French. I'm more English speaker, but also I had two different languages that I spoke, Armenian and Arabic. And English was my third language, so fourth language to add up was quite difficult. But I had no choice because I am in Montreal now, so I had to study French. I wanted to, so I went to full-time school to study French so that I go back to biology and work in my profession as a biologist. I studied for 6 months, and I thought that I know French. What was surprising was when I went out of school trying to speak with people around me, I'm like, I don't understand nothing. I spent 6 months studying French full-time to be able to communicate and thought that I could make a career out of it. I realized that no. So I could not work as a biologist because if I wanted to stay in Montreal, I needed to have the French. So I went through a depression, as I think almost every immigrant goes through. The cultural shock, not working in my career, I didn't have my friends, I didn't know what to do. 8 months in that situation, do I go back to my country or do I stay? I had to make a decision. What's the best for me? I just came as a refugee and immigrant, so going back is not a wise decision, but staying is also very hard, very difficult. I had no one to help me. I had no one to guide me, to tell me what I'm supposed to do. Do I leave to another province where they speak English? But then I'm also away from my family that I came with to Montreal. And this is when I found climbing, which, as you know, I climb now competitively. This is when I was introduced to climbing, and I was like, I want to climb. I loved it. It was a change, a big change in my life, because I come from a culture that they don't support training, especially for women. They shouldn't have muscles. They shouldn't be big. They shouldn't be doing too much sports because it can stop you from being a productive woman. And so I started training a lot, where people were asking me, what do you do in life? And I stopped for a second. I'm like, it's true. What do I do in life? At the moment, nothing. I'm a biologist, but I do nothing at the moment. Sorry. Yes, so it got me the question that, what do I do? I'm doing nothing right now. It's been 8 months, I'm depressed, and now I found climbing, and I'm only climbing every single day. And that was the start of me wanting to be healthy and wanting to follow a lifestyle that's gonna make me feel better. So that's my whole story, how it started for the fitness journey.
And with the ice plunge, because that's also another story that brought you to, well, doing ice plunges with thousands of people and doing a class on Warrior Growth Academy, the greatest online academy of personal development ever created on planet Earth. So it must be also very huge. So what happened with the ice?
Correct. It's all related. So I wouldn't have done cold plunge or been into the cold plunging if I was not into fitness as well. Because when I started following a healthy lifestyle, I wanted to, it starts with you want to start training. And then when you start training, you're like, okay, what can I do to get better or to get stronger? So, okay, I need to change my nutrition. I need to study more about the body and how it moves and how to avoid injuries. And this is how cold plunging came. I got introduced to cold plunging around 3 years ago when I heard about Wim Hof. And I was curious because I was like, this is crazy. Like everyone else says this now, when I tell them I do cold plunges in the winter, they're like, you're crazy. Why would you do something like this? I had the same reaction at that time when I heard about Wim Hof and how he hikes in the winter and how he goes in the cold water or the icy water. Because back in my country, the coldest it can get probably it's plus 10 degrees Celsius. And at that time, you're not even allowed to get out of your home if it's cold because you can get sick. You cannot get out if you're showered. So if your hair is wet and you're not covered properly, you should not get out because you can get sick. So it's all in my head that I can get sick from the cold. We all think that way. So for me, I'm like, I'm never going to do this. It's already cold. I'm already shocked by the cold that I have to bear in Montreal, which gets to minus 40 degrees Celsius. On that note, it's funny because I even changed my car. I said, I hate the cold so much. I don't know if I want to use this word, but I disliked cold so much that I went and I changed my car so that I have a starter from my home. I make sure the seats are heated, everything is heated before I step in the car. I will let it run for 15 minutes so that I don't have to bear the cold. This is how much I dislike the cold. Wow. I would wear gloves, maybe 2 hats and a lot of jackets, even bought the heated socks because I was like, this is too cold for me, I can't do it. So yeah, and when I saw Wim Hof, I was like, this is interesting. It hit me somehow. I'm like, maybe I want to try, but no, just let me watch it. And I got invited to a workshop. I said, it's for cold plunging. It's the Wim Hof instructors in Quebec. They were doing 10 to 15 people breathing and cold plunging. I said, I'm just going to go watch and take photos for the friends that I had there. And when the breathing was over and the instructor was like, who would like to get in the water first? I'm not even registered to be part of this. I was just there to be watching them. And for some reason, I just like this. Everyone looked at me, the girl who's scared of water and is there just only to watch. I was the first person who said, I'm gonna do it. It was minus 20 degrees outside. They had prepped a pool full of ice. It was windy. And I have no idea why I said yes, but I'm so happy right now. Look at me sitting here talking about cold therapy.
Yeah.
It was the start of how I felt when I got in the cold. First, when I raised my hands, I felt like I was accountable. I was held accountable. In front of all these people, I had to be strong. So when I was asked to get in the water, you should have seen my reaction. I didn't scream. I didn't say anything because I knew people are watching. So I had to be strong and accept whatever situation I am in. So I got in the water, and the instructor even was like, are you ready to get out? It was 2 minutes, and I'm like, I think I can stay longer. He's like, no, it's your first time, get out of the water. I went out of the water, my skin was burned from the cold, not burnt, it's like very red, and everyone was watching me. Is it good? I'm like, it's amazing. You have to do it. So I remember that day, every single person after me who got in the water were also calm, because you can be an example for the other people. So if I screamed, I might have freaked them out. But because I was calm, everyone was able to get in the water. And it hit me from that day. I started wearing less jackets because I did not get sick to start with. And I was like, if I was able to do the cold water with my bikini at minus 20 degrees Celsius, I can bear walking outside with not too many clothes. I don't have to turn on my car an hour before getting in the car and all this. But it was just one-time thing that went for a year. So there's a different story that's coming if you want me to continue.
Of course, go on.
Absolutely. So what happened, a year went away and COVID hit. COVID hit and everyone was at home. We have nothing to do. And I completely forgot about the cold therapy. Then I saw a video of Wim Hof talking about anxiety, depression, how cold water helps with it. And I'm like, I can do nothing. Right now, I have no job because COVID hit, all the gyms were closed as a fitness instructor. So what do? I'm down, I'm very down. Let me try cold therapy. So I remember we bought a small blue tub. We filled it with water, and I was very excited. I got in the water. I was scared, but I'm like, let me do it, challenge myself. And next day, I woke up. I'm happy. I want to do it again. But guess what? The tub was frozen.
Oh, my God.
The tub was completely frozen in one day. This is how cold it gets in Canada. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I forgot about it. It wasn't trendy at that time to get in the lake or get this inflatable tubs now that protect the water from freezing. It wasn't a thing at all. I completely forgot about it again. 2 years later, it's not two, the long story short, 2 years later, I went back to my country after 5 years of not seeing my friends, my family, and people that I loved, visiting the places I grew up, and I got very emotional. I stayed there for a month. I was super happy, but then I had to come back. I came back to Canada, and this is when the real depression hit me. A month of anxiety and depression, not understanding what's going on, although for those who know me, I'm a very outgoing person, positive all the time. And I'm a fitness instructor, so I'm training all the time. I'm encouraging people to be healthy and fit, but I'm not happy. There's something missing, and I don't know what it is. So I remembered cold therapy again. It hit me. I'm like, okay, maybe now this time, let me do cold therapy, but do it for longer, not just one and forget it for a year. Because you get that dopamine rush and everything in that one time that you do it. But as a fitness instructor, I also tell my clients when they come to me, don't waste your money if you're gonna come see me only once a week and not do anything on your own. Because once a week, you're gonna get that good feeling of having a training, but it won't give you any results, right? So I thought about the cold therapy, the same thing. Instead of doing it just once a month or once a year, let me do it for 30 days. And that was my first 30-day challenge that I did in October 2021. I did it on my own. No one was doing cold therapy at that time as for long. It's just, I was like, let me just try it and see if really it's going to change anything in my life. So I remember the temperature at that time was like 20 degrees in Canada. Still, October is a warm. It goes between, fluctuates between 10 and 20 degrees. I said, no matter what the temperature is going to be, I'm going to always, every day, wake up. First thing I'm going to do is going to do my cold therapy, no matter what the water temperature is as well. The temperature, I remember at that time, was like 15 degrees Celsius. I had no idea about how much the water has to be cold, how long to stay. All I knew, I have to stay in the water, no matter what. Every single day, Jenny would wake up and get in the water, post it on Instagram, just for my followers. I had a very small following. And everyone was like, you're crazy, you must be crazy, it's cold. And it was not cold, I'm telling you, it was 20 degrees outside, and the water was 15 degrees Celsius, so it's not cold. But for everyone else, it was cold. And then one of my videos, one last video that I posted on Instagram, got viral. People started asking me about the temperature, about why I'm doing it, about what it changed in my life. And I can tell you, it changed a lot in my life. So we can get to there if you want.
Of course, yes.
I feel like
I mean, if you can also, but I'm guessing the benefits that you got are the common benefits, or at least partially, right? So yeah, I think this is very important, because anyone who doesn't do cold therapy in any shape and form, for sure, maybe is missing, especially an exercise very simple that brings you so many benefits. So please do.
Correct. A lot of people were asking me, why are you doing this? Like, you're out of your mind? Are you trying to prove something? Or are you trying to show your bikini? Because this is how everyone thinks on their own, right? Mm-hmm. I know that I was doing this for myself. I was trying to save myself. I was seeing a therapist at that time, and the anxiety and depression that she saw in me, she said, maybe it's time for you for medication. And I looked at myself, I'm like, I'm young, healthy lady that is training, eating healthy, happy around her people. I have people who love me, I have people, I love them. Why am I going through this? I'm not going to go through medication. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be taking medication, but personally, I'm like, why did I get to this point where I need medication to be happy? Mm-hmm. So I knew that cold therapy helps. That's why I decided to do it for 30 days and see what's going to change. I can tell you that first day I did it, the dopamine rush was there. I was happy for 2-3 hours. Then it goes down back to whatever you're feeling that day. Second day, same thing. Third day, same thing. Fourth day, I start seeing changes. What I found the most that changed in me in those 30 days was I started feeling proud of myself. And I think that's what I was missing. I did not believe in myself. I did not see any value in myself. Although a lot of people around me were seeing that value in me, but I was not. So if you look in the mirror and you don't see value in yourself, no matter how much the people around you tell you you're good, you're enough, you're beautiful, you're strong, whatever they want to say, it's not enough. You gotta have to see it. And this is why I say I'm very passionate about cold therapy, is because it changed that in me, how I saw myself. I became resilient. I became, I'm not sure how I can put it into words. Again, English is my third language, so I'm trying my best to bring the words as much as I can.
Say it in Arabic. I became...
And everyone's going to understand. Yeah, but I started believing in myself. My energy was there already, but it got better. I started even feeling with my trainings, I was able to train more. I'm going to give you an example. I was able to do only one muscle up. It might sound ridiculous for some people, but for me, it was an achievement. And I have not trained it for a while. Muscle ups are hard, especially on the rings if it's more of a technical thing. And as a woman, I found it extremely hard for me to achieve my one muscle up. And I achieved it like a year before I started my cold therapy. When I was doing my cold therapy every day, one day I decided, I'm like, I'm going to go try a muscle up. I haven't trained for it for a while, but I know that with cold therapy, I've been feeling stronger and more energetic and recovered. So I went to do a muscle up. I'm not kidding. I did 3. And I was not training for it. I'm like, what's happening to my body? It just feels so powerful, so strong. And it wasn't just the body that was strong. It was the mind that was strong. I was believing in myself. And when I was believing in myself, I was able to do things better. And it was just resulting in a lot of things, work-wise, physically, with my relationships with the people. So that was one of the benefits that I found that it's very important, is believing in myself. Number two, I started sleeping better, and I have the Garmin watch that I use to track my sleep, my deep and REM sleep. I was having zero REM. I'm not kidding. Zero REM, maybe 30 minutes of deep, which is not very, very unhealthy. You need 2 hours of REM, an hour of deep at least. I was not getting them. And after 30 days of my challenge, I went to my watch to look at my deep and REM sleep, and I could see they were above an hour and 2 hours.
Wow.
And I was not tracking them at that time. I had forgotten completely. I had my watch. I was just doing my things. Only all these things started revealing after 30 days of the challenge and starting to dig deeper to what are the benefits of the cold therapy. So my sleep got better. My energy got better. Physically, I got stronger because I was able to recover faster muscle inflammation. Another thing which was very interesting was my HRV. Do you know what's an HRV?
Heart rate variation.
Exactly. Heart rate variability is something that my watch was also calculating. I did not know at that time what was HRV or how does it's calculated. So I went into the graph and I saw that my HRV had been in the red to orange dots at that time. I can show you even on my phone that on the day I started my cold therapy, so it was red before. The day I started my cold therapy, the red zone became orange. That was October 1. October 2, it was green. Green is the good level. And it stayed green all month.
Wow.
I have it. I don't know how is it related and how it was working, but it was all green. And then I stopped the cold therapy. One day it dropped back a little bit into lower green and then orange. I stopped it for a week and I could see that it dropped again. I'm like, why?
Can you just explain heart rate variability for whoever is listening doesn't know, like the importance of it, what it is exactly?
Heart rate variability is usually calculated according to your sleep, stress level, how much physical activity you do, how's your heart at night beating faster or slower. So it calculates everything, but it's all everything that's happening in your life too. So if you're anxiety, depression, if you have low immune system, if you're probably also training too much, you're not recovering, you're not sleeping, you're not breathing properly, they're all related.
Yeah.
At that time, this is how your heart rate variability goes, and it's different for every individual. At that time, I did not know. I thought I'm healthy because I'm training. I thought I'm sleeping and everything was normal. I think I changed nothing in my life in that period. The only thing I changed, that's why I believe so much that it was the cold therapy, was the cold therapy. There was nothing else changed. And again, I can show you the graphs. When I went back to it, it was like 6 months later I saw that. I went back because I read that it helps with sleeping, stress, and all this. So I went back. I'm like, let me check what happened on the day I started cold therapy. And I was like, boom, this is crazy. So that was also one of the benefits that I saw. Another thing which I find extremely important is the immunity.
Immune system.
Immune system. My immune system was very strong. The only time that I got sick was during COVID. It hit me for 3 days and then I was recovered. But no cold, no flu. I'm not saying everyone's not gonna react this way, not gonna have, but personally how it affected my life, I had not gotten sick since I started cold therapy for a very long time. No cold, no flu. I don't care about people if they're sick around me. I'm like, I don't care. I'm strong. It
Cough
could be,
in my face, please.
yeah, I don't mind. Like, do it. Look, I'm not gonna get sick, and I really did not get sick. It's not. I'm not sure if it's only that my immune system got stronger with the cold therapy. It's also my mind was strong enough believing that I'm not gonna get sick, which helped a lot. So cold therapy helped me in a lot. It's building that mindset, the resilience that I'm a superwoman. I might not be, but my mind is so strong that's acting that way towards my body. So I also remember it was minus 40 degrees Celsius last year that it hit the top. And my mom called me and she's like, Mom, don't go out today, okay? Because it's very, very cold. I'm like, okay, Mom, sure. Little did she know that
You're jumping in the cold.
Little did she know that I had already organized the community of plungers on the lake. in the lake. Well, because on the lake, because it's still frozen, right? We had to break it to get in the lake. She did not know. I did not even tell her because I know she's going to freak out. But we were around 20 individuals, minus 40 degrees Celsius on the lake, breaking a hole for us to get in the water. We stayed for 2 minutes at that day, I remember, but you don't get sick from cold water. It's all in your head. It's not the cold that's getting you sick. It's your weak immune system. And one of the cold therapy benefits is strengthening your immune system.
Yeah. And I can confirm not by my voice, but by just research I've heard from other, scientists and different podcasts that use, peer-reviewed studies and etc. It is 100% a urban legend that we get sick by going outside in a t-shirt with the cold. It's just anything that has a certain level of stress on our body, good or bad, so cold or even exercise. When we are weak, then it kind of just, it's the drop of water that makes the whatever. I have the expression in French in my mind, so
I'm not the right person to ask.
Can you say it in Arabic? Anyways, it's the thing that kind of like crashes, but it's not because of the cold. It's because of your defense line of immune system is not strong enough. And the more you strengthen that, the stronger it is.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
I've read, because you were talking about, especially on the mindset part, about the, how powerful it made you feel, just even on the mindset level, like kind of mentally, psychologically. It's not something you can measure. It's just something you realize and observe on your own. You have no scientific proof on that.
No.
But there's a book called The Beauty of Discomfort. And it's very interesting because there's a lot of different chapters looking at different stories, but the author basically looks at, I don't know how she put it together, but she's been researching that for many, many years. I think she works with athletes. I think she's a psychologist. And basically what she realized is there's two main differences between high performers and athletes. So kind of like, the go-getters, quote unquote, and the average person. And in correlation with discomfort, physical or mental. And it's the meaning and the relationship we have with the discomfort. For a high performer or an athlete, discomfort means you're pushing your limits, means you're doing the right thing to become stronger. Just as when you push your muscle in the gym and it hurts in the moment and even worse the next day, you're building your muscle. But the average person, the meaning and the relationship with discomfort, again, physical or mental. She uses a lot of physical examples, like, a runner who's running and at kilometer, 22, the knee starts to hurt type of thing. But it's the same thing with discomfort mentally. So, doing something new, getting out of your comfort zone, doing something hard, etc. And it's that meaning that we give to it, which for the average person, it's, I want to stay away from it. So it's incredible how on one end, and that's the beauty of when, you expand your knowledge or you just read in general or you talk to people, you see observations or findings or research or ideas that make you think differently. Because naturally, I think we are taught, I don't know how, maybe through, a mix of movies and society or whatever, but we are taught that the goal is to live kind of a comfortable, easy life, quote unquote, right? Nobody wakes up in the morning saying, I want to suffer today on their own.
Only
Nobody.
the cold plungers.
Exactly. But as soon as you change the meaning of the discomfort and also realize all the benefits overall, it becomes a friendship. It becomes something you seek instead of something you run away from. Because I'll speak for myself, but I know what you're going to say. It doesn't get easier. Every single time you get...
That was exactly what I was thinking about.
Right? So this is even better. Because imagine it would get easier. You would kind of like not get that moment of I have to push through. but it gets easier kind of on a different scale, meaning you are more used to it and you are also able to calm yourself down quicker and better, right? But even for an expert, even for Wim Hof, even for you, the ice queen of the world, you still suffer and do not want to get in the cold, and still your body tells you, please get out as soon as you get in.
100%. That was exactly what I was thinking about as you were explaining to me about the book and the difference between an athlete and a general person.
Average person.
An average person. Yesterday, on that note, I was doing a cold plunge with a guy that was like around in his 20s, early 20s, and it was his first time doing the cold plunge. And I told him, you want to join me? I'm doing the cold plunge. He's like, sure. Yesterday was cold, by the way. It was 2 degrees Celsius. For some reason, the temperature just dropped in Montreal. And he's like, are you crazy? It's windy and rainy. I'm like, it does not matter what the weather is. When I feel like I want to do the cold plunge, that doesn't stop me from thinking twice. So I said, I'm going to do it in front of you, so that might help you to calm down and just feel like you can do it too. You know, it's like the guys that are just in their 20s, they're building muscles now. They want to show that they're strong. So I'm like, that would be a way to calm you down. So he went out with me, and I was doing my cold plunge, and I was super calm. And he was already shaking, just standing outside with his clothes. He's like, I don't think I can do it. I'm like, you can. Just relax and calm down, focus on your breathing, and you'll be able to do it. And he's like, I'm not sure how are you doing this? He was not able to understand. His feet were already cold because he was bare feet outside waiting for me to finish. My feet are already freezing. How can you do it? I looked at it and I'm like, it doesn't get easier. Don't think that now I feel it's easy. If you're cold, I'm cold too. I'm as much as human as you. And I feel the cold as much as you. The only difference right now between you and me is my mind. My mind is strong enough to stand the cold water. Not saying that, yes, I've been doing cold water for a while now. Your body adapts kind of, but does not adapt. It's not like I wake up every day and I'm happy I'm going to do the cold plunge. No, but I'm happy I'm going to do the cold plunge when I think about the benefits, not about the feeling that I'm going to get in the water. It's difficult and it never gets easier. And it's never exciting to get in that water. But when you think about the benefits and the why you're doing this, it just gets easier. And your mind is able to be strong to handle the freezing situation you are in, which he did after, of course. And he stayed for a minute and jumped out of the water. Just like, I don't understand how you're doing this, which is 99% of the population, of course.
Amazing. You are a true warrior. I love
Aren't we all?
Yes, we are. But I think some people need to maybe awaken that warrior a little bit.
They need to find the why, I would say. Why do they want to do something that gets them out of their comfort zone? And everyone has their reason. My reason why is because I wanted to see who true Jenny is. Because I felt like I was, with my culture back in my country too, I was like, how can you say it? It's just like, I was like, I can't do nothing. I was controlled.
Small.
Super small. I can't wear what I want because I'm always going to be judged by the people around me. So I felt like for 27 years, as I was growing, I was not able to speak. I was not able to act. I was always who's looking at me to judge me. And this is why I love also coming to Canada. It's multicultural. You are you can be whatever you want. You could say whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. Even though some people are going to judge you, because there's always people are going to judge, but it's different. It's not your environment that's going to judge you. So for me, I'm very, very grateful that I got introduced to cold therapy because it changed me in so many different ways on a personal level. And the most important, as I've mentioned before, is when I look in the mirror, I know I'm not any different than when I was 27, by the way. If you look at my pictures, I still look the same. But now, when I look in the mirror, I give affirmations to myself. I'm like, you're strong, you're beautiful. Not that I was not, but I started seeing that, which I was not seeing before. Just by doing the cold therapy, it made me realize how really strong I am, especially when I see other people are not able to stand it. So what's the difference between me and other person who's not able to do it? It's my resiliency, my mindset that I start seeing as beautiful and strong and appreciated when I stand in front of the mirror.
I love it. I thought initially when you said when I'm standing in front of a mirror, I see a big ice cube with a crown on it. But then I'm like, no, this is something I would say because that's what I would think. But yeah, but I had the image. I love it. That's wonderful. Before we go, do you have any questions for me?
I do.
Shoot.
Since we're talking about cold water therapy,
it can be about anything.
About anything, but I would keep it for the cold water therapy. I know that you've tried it already, right? And it's something you practice as well. Yeah. What is it that's bringing to your life the cold therapy?
Very good question. For sure, I do care, and I am conscious of my physical health, mental health, immune system. So for sure there is a part of that. But what I would be guilty of, quote unquote, is short-term benefits. Meaning, I would give a lot of importance to, for example, how I feel right after it. So what I do during the week, especially if I'm working from home or going to the office, I would take the cold shower just before work. So then I'm wired and hyper focused instantly after. Mm-hmm. So I would be lying if I just, give the logical answer of, oh, I feel so much stronger. For me at this moment of my life, I think there was different moments because I've been doing some cold in some shape and form for a little while. Maybe I would say for sure I've tried for the first time maybe 2-3 years ago, but without knowing anything how it works and why. So probably at the spa, I went in for 3 seconds and then came out type of thing, right? But I for sure had a little introduction, but I would say for probably in the past 2.5 years, 3, I've started doing really more ice plunges, not so much cold showers. I'm doing cold showers now lately for the past 4 months because it's accessible and it can be daily because I don't have access to an ice bath on a daily basis. But for sure, this is something that now it's not even a question that I'm doing every single day because right after I sit down and I feel so focused and well that I'm just in the zone. Mm-hmm. So
I love that.
That's it. But listen, it has been a huge pleasure. If ever you are interested, and even more if you feel scared and you have something in your body that tells you, no, I don't want to know nothing more, this is even more a sign to check out Jenny B's class. It is beginner friendly. She explains all the benefits, all the tips, how to get into the cold for the first time, how to get easy into it, the little baby steps, so it's not jumping in the lake for 4 minutes, day 1, don't worry. And don't forget to subscribe to not miss any of those incredible conversations with incredible guests on the platform of Warrior Growth Academy podcast. See you at the next one.